Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to whip up a small batch of cornbread. Everybody's got a recipe for cornbread. They add this, they add that, some add eggs. Nothing wrong with that. I don't put eggs in mine. Normally I have. If you choose to add eggs, what it's going to do is help make the cornbread a little less crumbly. Don't really matter. Most of the time it gets crumbled up in beans or put in milk and bread, just different things. So if it's crumbly, it doesn't matter. What we got here is that if you watch my last video, this is the skillet that always gets cornbread fixed in it. So I nicknamed it cornbread. Go figure. You got your cornmeal, your flour, salt, olive oil, mixing bowl, butter, and I'll get the milk out in a minute. We always add a little bit of milk and pepper to it, but I didn't get the pepper out. So I'm going to go ahead and get this bowl and get the ingredients in it and get it mixed up, and I'll show you what it looks like before we put it on. Alright, we've got that all mixed up. You don't want it too thin. You want it to be kind of thick. You got to be able to get it out and pour it in the pan here in a minute when we get the iron skillet heated up, which brings me to my next step. You got to take the iron skillet and set everything aside here in a minute. Get your olive oil out. You got to have your skillet hot and ready. Alright, we're just going to take and put some olive oil in the skillet. Be kind of generous with it, because this is what's going to keep the cornbread from sticking. Get it all over the skillet. Once it's all over it, add just a dash extra for good luck. Let's go ahead and get this front eye. Now the cast iron, like I told you before, we don't want to go too hot. I always go to about number 4. Because like I told you in the last video, you got to heat it slow, cool it slow. The last thing you want to do is warp one of these pans, because while they will last a lifetime, they are not indestructible. So we're going to leave that setting right there for just a minute, and we'll get this stirred on up. We're going to add butter here in just a minute. Stir all that up. Then I'll show you getting ready to put it on the oven. We'll go ahead and heat the oven to about 350 degrees. That way it's good and hot and ready to go whenever we get that. But right now we're going to worry about this grease, getting it up. When it starts popping a little bit, we're good to go. We'll be ready to put the cornbread mix in. Alright everybody, we've got the skillet good and hot. Let's go ahead. Now this is the point you really want to be careful, because this grease is extremely hot. So you want to go ahead and get that batter right down in there just like this. And get it all spread around. Don't worry about it not being full. It'll rise on up there here in a minute. Make sure you get all that out, kind of spread it around a little bit. Yeah, the grease might go over it, but that's okay. Everything's ready. Now I'm just gonna, may have to go off camera here just a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this thing in the oven. I've got the oven set on 350. Like I said, so it hits in there. It's good to go. We'll leave it on like that for a little while. Keep a check on it. Maybe that last few minutes we might flip it over on broil. But for right now, it may cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. It's 4:04, so we'll check back with it here in a minute and see where we're at. While this bakes, I'd like to take a minute to talk to you about the cast iron. Now, while there's other ways to fix it, metal pans, this, that, and the other, you just can't beat cornbread out of a cast iron skillet, in my opinion. It just gives it a whole nother taste. And like I mentioned in my last video, I don't know the percentage, but your body needs so much iron in its daily diet, and well, there you go, you get it from that. I guess I made a comment the last video, maybe seemed like it was negative toward Lodge. Lodge is awesome cookware. I've got a bunch of it. Have more of it than I do the Griswolds or Wagners, but it's just the way it is, you know. Griswolds, Wagners are higher value, harder to come by these days. You can buy it, but you really have to pay quite a bit for it. The Lodge stuff works just great. Some of the, was it Ozark Trail or whatever that stuff is Walmart sells, their brand. I don't know, I've never tried any of it. It looks pretty good, but I may buy one just to see what happens, do a review on it. Anyway, we're going to leave this alone. Let it bake for a while. It's been in there about 3 minutes. Okay, 4 now. So we'll just leave it alone and see what happens. Still baking. We're about 10 minutes into this 20-minute journey. Everything's looking okay. I like to sit here and keep an eye on it because I have been known to maybe overdo it just a little bit, leave it in there too long, get to doing something else. So I usually just do the cornbread about last, sit down and take it easy and watch it. There it is. It's been in there 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and flip it up on broil for the last couple and let it sit in there and kind of brown that, well, top. Now it's going to be the bottom, but let's just leave it like that for a couple of minutes and we'll get it out. All right, I'm calling it right there. Let's go ahead and get that out. Oh, look at that. We got that brown on there. Like I said, this is the bottom, which will become the top. Now bear with me on this. I'm one-handed trying to film this video and flip this cornbread, and it's hot, so hang on. And I didn't bust the plate. Look at there. I know some people like a darker crust on it. I can eat it either way. I like it like this. So that's the way I went ahead and fixed it. Like I said, that's took about 10 minutes of prep time. Some was on camera, some was off, because I'm a one-man crew and I had a hard time holding the camera. Put it on a bipod or a tripod and got some of the film. But anyway, 10, 12 minutes of prep time, 20 minutes of baking, about 2 minutes of broil. Here's our cast iron skillet. When it cools to the touch, when you can lay your hand in there and touch it without getting burnt, all I'm going to do to the skillet is, here again, run some warm water in it. Use one of my wife's scrub pads. Check the video out. She makes these scrubbers out of onion sacks. Show you one right quick. This one is one of our oldest ones. It's used really a lot. Really. It has been used a lot, folks. And just when this gets warm, run warm water in there, scrub around with this, get that residue, get that oil out, set it up. This is the only pan cornbread gets made in. That's it. Pan's getting seasoned well. All right, let me get a knife and we'll cut into this. And there you are, cornbread. Good. It's hot, fresh. Now I need some milk. I like to have a glass of milk and bread. Anyway, folks, there it is, the video for today. If you like it, if you found it informative, please like, share, subscribe. Always take good care of your cast iron. Clean it properly, season it properly. It will literally last forever. That's today's video. Thank you for watching. Good day. God bless. See you on the next one.